take over the game, baby, yeah. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Yeah.
Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Miami Dolphins
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 31, Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one a first down pickup of 8.
The Raiders are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they fell in the opener, got back on the beam with a win in week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable. And this is a team still getting to know each other. I'm not that concerned, and neither are they.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Rodgers. Going left side, it's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Down inside the 10.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach...
And that is caught! Touchdown, Raiders! Devontae Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 after the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Next, the receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slash and run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. On the move to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Rodgers now to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen?
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor, maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Tua to try again on 2nd down. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely up, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. From the 16, Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked out by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to get the football back at their own 17. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost him.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Tua's throw here will be caught by Wilson.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action, now it's Tua. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Dolphins are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make our score 14-7. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
From the 29, Rodgers. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Dolphins take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Tua now on first down. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stock troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua.
Wilson's got it on the crossing route.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 35-yard line.
Dillon up the middle. Down to about the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Dillon. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Tua.
Wilson's got it complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A solid stiff arm. Oh, there he does it again. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11.
And even 100 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So you got the lead here in the 2nd half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Extra point by Carson, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Tua on the bootleg here. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From midfield, here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
4th down, 4th quarter, here's Tua. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Counter play with Jacobs. Down to about the 37.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And they will take a knee here. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. And they take a knee.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second.
I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, as you know.